lot of people want him to take Justin Fields. All the reporting is that they're going to take Mac Jones. Seems like a lot of Niner fans could be disappointed. And the question I have for you guys is, would drafting one or the other put more pressure on the organization in general, John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan in particular? Jack, why don't you do this one first?
I can see how a lot of folks around the 49ers, the 49ers fans could not like the idea of Mac Jones and want Justin Fields instead. I don't think it really matters which one. They're going to be upset at the beginning when the draft happens. If it's Mac Jones, they'll be happy if it's Justin Fields. But once the games actually start and these guys get on the field, it doesn't matter if it's Mac Jones or Justin Fields. If either one of them screws up and is losing games for him, the result's going to be the same, and that's going to be that somebody's going to be on the hot seat and possibly on their way out of town. So I don't really think I don't put a whole lot of stock in they have the draft Jones to keep the fan base happy. It's all going to matter what happens between the lines.
I 100% agree with that. I think that no matter who you pick, if you pick the wrong guy, like the Bears picked Mitchell Trubisky and that ended up being the wrong guy, then you're going to get pressure, even if he was, quote unquote, the favorite at the time. And I think the one argument you can have is that Justin Fields, at least in my opinion, offers more potential, like all pro potential, or at least Pro Bowl potential. And Mac Jones might be a Jimmy Garoppolo-esque quarterback. And if that's the case, if both live up to their potential, then there'll always be, you could have had that top 8 quarterback instead of that top 15 quarterback. But if Kyle Shanahan has his guy, that's his guy. And so that's where the pressure comes, is he's picking his guy and he has to hope his guy works out. And that's, at least in my opinion, where the pressure comes.
Right. I mean, I hate to be the same answer as everybody else, but I agree as well. Like, I think the timeline for Shanahan and Lynch is actually set up with the trade. Like, so they gave up, the 2022 first round draft pick, 2023 first round draft pick. So I think by 2023, they either have to figure it out with whomever they pick. Otherwise, the new regime is going to come in and, have a first round pick to start their regime off with. So I kind of think that that's what the timeline is going to be, regardless of who they pick.
It's funny. I think I might disagree with you three on this one. The way I look at it is, like, if I were to put a poll out right now on Twitter, who should the Niners draft, Mac Jones or Justin Fields? Like 80% of Niner fans would say Justin Fields. And if the Niners take Mac Jones, Niner fans will come around, but they'll be really skeptical. And they'll be like, all right, fine. Okay, well, he better be better than Jimmy Garoppolo right now. Any growing pains that Mac Jones has, I think, will be magnified. Whereas if it's Justin Fields, Niner fans wanted him anyway. If he struggles as a rookie, they'll make excuses for him. Hey, he's transitioning to a new offense. He didn't have a full blah, 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 blah. There's a little more rope, I think, if they take Justin Fields. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean you want to go the path of least resistance and do what the fans want, but I think there's a little bit of a difference. If they take Mac Jones, I think Niner fans, a lot of them, their attitude is going to be like this. All right, okay, we'll see what he's got. Oh, incomplete in the first pass? Well, I guess you messed up. I don't know. There's going to be some skepticism, I think. Mac Jones, it's going to be tough to sell even the biggest Kyle Shanahan fans on Mac Jones, I think, just because of his face. He doesn't have that Jimmy Garoppolo face. It's tough out here.